So good afternoon. Welcome to Sport and Wellbeing virtual classes. My name is Matt Gregory, so I'm going to be your instructor today for core stability. For this class, you'll need a mat, a towel, and a drink, just to get you ready. Let me show you that. So the idea of this class is going to be for core activation and strengthening. So we're going to be working all the abdominal muscles, working the obliques, working the rectus spinalis, so working the lower back muscles, and we're also going to do some body sling stuff by activating, moving the arms and the legs opposite, so working the body all the way across. Each one of the exercises is going to be for around about 45 seconds each time, and then we're going to have a short break in between. So it's not like a HIIT class, we're not going to have a 30-second break or a 45-second break or anything like that. We're just going to be comfortable in transitioning from one move to the other. So we've got 10 exercises we're going to be doing today. Being comfortable laying on your back or standing or kneeling position, all these different things. Now, as always, if you do have any issues with any body parts or any joints, things like that, please go and seek any medical advice, or please take any of the exercises at your own level. So if it feels uncomfortable moving in a certain way, either take a rest and take a break from the exercise, or we can modify these exercises just so they make them comfortable for you. As always, any questions or any comments, please post them below or in the comments section here, and I'll either try and answer them during the class or I try and answer them afterwards. Now we're going to get going in around about 30 seconds. So make sure your mat is nicely set up, or wherever you're going, you've got a nice towel and you've got a drinks bottle. So now around about 20 seconds, and then we're going to be starting with our first move, which is going to be on our hands and knees. So I'm just going to grab a quick drink and then we're going to get started. Okay, so we're going to get going. So, like I said, around about 45 seconds per exercise, moving how you can and just nice and comfortably with all movements. Okay, so we're going to be starting on all fours. So, taking from here. What we're going to be doing from here is going into angry cat. So hip and shoulder touching. And coming back down. So pressing that bottom out, pulling that head up. Squeeze in. So bring that belly pull in and pushing all that down. Okay, one more. Pushing up. Working through those shoulders. Really feel that curve in that back. Pushing that bottom down. Bring that head up and squeeze. Okay, relax. We're going to be rolling over onto our backs. We're going to be doing a floor bridge. So for this movement, taking the heels towards the bottom. Place my hands either flat down to help us or palms facing up. Pushing those hips towards that ceiling and squeeze that bottom at the top. So we go in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So squeeze that bottom, push up towards that ceiling, squeeze and hold for a second, and come on back down. Rolling through that spine, and again, pushing up, digging those heels into the floor, pushing up towards that ceiling, squeezing those glutes, and rolling through that spine. Now to make it a little bit more difficult, move those heels in a little bit closer, and pushing up. Okay, 15 more seconds. Roll comfortably through that spine, up and down. Squeeze that bottom, push those hips towards that ceiling. 3, 2, 1, relaxing. Our next move that we're going to be working through is laying on your back, so we're going to be doing windscreen wipers. So from here, stay on your back, should have moved. So we're going to be taking the knees up, have a nice 90-degree angle with this. From here, we're going to be moving our knees side to side and trying to keep our shoulders on the floor. So just to demonstrate, moving gently as far as we can, gently pulling back into the middle, and then rotating to the other side. And then coming back up. Okay, 45 seconds of that one. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So dropping the knees down towards the side. Try and keep those shoulders on the floor. And pull it all the way back up into the middle. Try and keep those knees at a 90-degree angle. Make sure you do both sides evenly. Okay, we're halfway. we're going down one side. To make it harder, you can do the straight legs and work towards the side. If you really want to. Alright, 10 seconds. If you find straight legs too difficult, bend the legs. And we go. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Okay. We're going to come to what we call dead bugs. So we start with hands towards the ceiling, and we're going to bring those knees back up. Now the idea of this is the opposite arm to the leg is going to go extend flat out in front. So just to watch me demonstrate. So my left leg is going, my right arm's going. We stretch out, and we come on back in. And then we go repeat on the other side. Okay, 45 seconds. We go in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So my left leg, my right arm comes out, and then we come back in, tuck that knee in. Other side comes out, whoop, and squeeze it on back in. Again, slow, controlled. Now, if we can't go down towards the floor really high, with this leg, bit of coordination. Extend slightly more towards the ceiling so it doesn't go as far down to the floor. So show you that again. So I don't go down too far. Alright, 10 more seconds. My coordination's off today. 5, 4, 3, 2. One more I think. 1. And bring back into that dead bug position. And hold. Brilliant. Turning on to our all fours again, we're going to be going into a plank hold. Now with the plank hold, you can either go onto your elbows, you can go a nice high top pressing position. I'm going to go into a high pressing position. If you feel like you need to relax, so for instance, if you are in a high plank position, just here, belly button in, nice and flat, and you need to relax, you can either come down to your knees and continue, or drop your knees for a couple of seconds, then squeeze back up and hold in here. Okay, or if you want to start on your knees, relax quickly, and walk back out into it and hold this as your plank position. Do so. As long as the weight is over your hands, your knees are back, that will be your plank position. Okay, so we're going to do this for another 45 seconds, and then we're going to go through everything again for a second time. Okay, so hands in position, we go in 3, 2, 1. High plank position. Nice solid foundation to the feet, slightly calm, weight over the wrists, nice and in line. Bring that belly button in, squeeze that bottom, and holding that there. Now if you need to come down, do so. If you need to relax at any point and go back into it, do so as well. Taking your own pace, taking it where you're comfortable. Okay, we're halfway. Drop onto your knees if you need to, if you're in that high plank. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping down to those knees, back to our hips. Now the next thing we're going to be working on is bird dog. Now this is a variation of the Superman that I normally instruct, which is a moving arm and leg. For this one, we're going to be doing 45 seconds per side and holding opposite arm and the opposite leg out. Let me just demonstrate. So taking on to all fours. From here, we're going to take our left leg out and then bring our right arm up. And we're going to hold in this position. Trying to balance it and hold it in there. So we're going to do that for 45 seconds and then we're going to switch sides and we're going to do the other side. So get yourself into all fours. So your hips over your knees, your arms over, your shoulders over your hands. That position. We lift in 3, 2, 1. Taking that leg and that arm out, holding that body position, trying to keep it as flat as possible. I need to lower the leg a little bit. And hold it there. Really extend through your fingers and all the way through your toes. Again, keep that weight, that shoulder over that wrist, and that hip over that knee. Okay, 15 seconds. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking that arm and knee down. Couple of seconds break, and we're going to go into the other side. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. So lifting that leg out, and then along the bottom, and that arm back coming along with the shoulder. Focus on holding that position, keep that core nice and strong. Hold it there. If you need to come down and relax, do so. Let's see how long you can hold it. Keep that long line from the middle finger all the way through to that big toe. Alright, 15 seconds. 10. Keep holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, coming on down. From here, we're going to drop the hips down towards the floor. And we're going to pin our toes on the floor. Now we're going to be doing some dorsal raises. With the dorsal raises, we're just going to be lifting up the top half. This can be reflected as cobra. With cobra, we also bring the legs up. So for this, we're going to pin those feet into the floor. We're going to take those arms just to the side, and I do a dorsal raise to lift and come down. Now with this movement, we don't need to rush it. We don't want to impinge any muscles in the back. We're going to take a nice controlled slow movement, up, and then back down again. Okay, let's get ready to start. Pin those toes in. We go 3, 2, 1, off we go. So lifting up, squeeze, and slowly back down. Now we don't want to hurt that lower back. We just want to gently raise, and then come back down again. Some nice controlled movements. Feeling that, squeezing that back. Okay, halfway. Seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, raise yourself back up and turn over onto your bottom. So for the next one, we're going to be working the lower abdominals, and we're going to do some flutter kicks. Now this is essentially a backstroke without using the arms. So we're going to be kicking from the hips and kicking those legs out. So if you imagine you're kicking over in a dish hollow shape, where you can have your shoulders down on the floor, and we're working, imagine we're swimming in that pool, we can kick those legs really fast, we can take a nice and controlled movement. So no arms, nice hollow hold, or shoulders flat on the back, on the floor. Okay, we go in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to take a hollow hold, and I move from my hips, and I kick that water with those legs. Now don't have floppy toes, like you would normally do. So this time I'm going to kick from the hips, really activate that core, and double activate it by bringing those shoulders to the floor. Now if you want to relax, in the best sense of the word, and relax those shoulders on the floor, and kick, still kicking those hips, point those toes, and do those flutter kicks. Palms facing up so you can't cheat by pressing into the floor. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Fantastic. Now we're going to take a plank variation and go onto our side now. The idea of this is we're going to have our hand facing nice and flat, our shoulders going to come over our elbow, and there's a couple of things you can do with your legs. So if you want to, you can push up your hip and have these legs on the floor. If you want to take this slightly harder, we can have both legs nice and split, pushing that hip up to that ceiling, and we can raise that arm, and wherever your arm feels most comfortable. The idea of this is to push that hip up towards that ceiling, and to really push it on up. Alright, I'm going to go for that side plank. So again, like bird dog, we're going to do 45 seconds on one side, and 45 seconds the other. Again, if you need to relax, drop down to a sit position, halfway through, go for it. See how far you can go there. Okay, so hand nice and flat, shoulder over that elbow, and decide whether we're going to stay on our knee or have 2 straight legs. We go in 3, 2, 1. So the hip one, push that hip up, straight leg out, and the arm can come out wherever it's comfortable, and we push that hip up towards that ceiling. You want to go a little bit harder, change that pivot point, push those hips up to the ceiling, and you just go nice straight legs. So there's a little bit more pressure in that oblique, pushing up towards that ceiling. If you are going to have your arm up like I am, try and make it a nice long line from the middle finger all the way through that elbow joint. Okay, you've got 15 seconds. That's 10. 5, 4, 3, push that hip up, 2, and 1. So changing sides, take it carefully, we're not in any rush. Grab your drinks when you need to. So exactly the same on the other side. So move my paper. So we start having that flat arm, and that shoulder goes over that elbow, so we've got a nice long line. So we're not putting it under any extra pressure, and then decide whether you want your hands. So we always start with the hip just to get us ready. So pushing that hip up, and that can be your hold, or you can go up in 3, 2, 1. So hold it here, or those 2 straight legs, or split legs, pushing that hip up towards that ceiling. Again, get that nice long line from that arm, all the way down to your elbow, or you can have your hand down here, whatever is most comfortable. And if you want to drop to your knee, do so. Just make sure that hip is pushed all the way up to that ceiling. And come to this position. Nice long line. Alright, we're over halfway. Nice long body. Extending from that middle finger all the way through to that elbow. Pushing that hip towards that ceiling. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Relax slowly down. And come on in. Okay. So, the last move we've got before we go through it is going to be plank rotation. So I'm going to show you this from face on, just to give you an idea. Now, I would always do these on your elbows. Then just go careful with that shoulder drop. If you do have any problems, go very careful, go for a high plank. So I'm going to show you both variations. So, we'll start from the high plank. So from the high plank, feet just shoulder width apart, hands in here. What we do from here is we essentially take one arm off, we scoop it through, and we're going to lift and extend up towards that ceiling. So we add that rotation spinal twist, and then we're going to come back down. Now what we're going to be doing on this one is we're not going to be doing both sides independently, we're going to be doing it at the same time. So we're coming through just so we really get to that rotation. That hand comes down, and then the second arm starts by going through, and then reaches up in rotation. So that was the high one. When we do it on our elbows, we come down, and don't grip your hands, have them nice and flat. From here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I would not do the rotation, I would lift up, and come on back down onto the elbows. Lift up, rotate through that spine, and come on back down. That little scoop through, trying to go for that elbow joint, it's such a narrow gap. I would only do that scoop through to start with on high arms. On elbows, just do rotational reach, and then come back down. Okay, so pick elbows or high plank, and we go in 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, I'm going to do this head on 1, let's go. So that nice straight line, just toes grounded. We take that arm, rotate through, and we reach to that ceiling. So we create that spinal rotation, using that core, and we're twisting that body up. We're trying to keep as flat as possible, reaching through, twisting up, and then coming back down. Again, other side, nice and flat. Now as we get fatigue, you'll see what happens is as you put the hand down, bottom will peak. We want to tuck those hips under, and try and keep as flat as possible. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Relax. So now we've gone through all of the exercises once. Hopefully you've got a really good idea about what exercises we're doing. I'm going to give you about a 30-second break. We're going to start all the way again on all fours in a happy cat, sad cat, and we're going to work through all the exercises again. How are we doing, everyone? How's everyone doing? You alright? Right. So turn the mat back sideways. We're going to go happy cat, angry cat. Hip and shoulder abduction. So from here, we're going to get ready to start in 5 seconds. So it's that happy cat, angry cat. So we go 3, 2, 1. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. We go, we drop that down. We push that bottom back. Head comes up. As you come in, tuck that head under. Push through. Squeeze that bottom under. Push that spine up to the ceiling. Come on back down again. Pushing that bottom under those hips. Head comes up. Squeezing, coming on through. And tuck it up. 10 seconds. Push it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Turn your arms to that back. We're going to go for that floor bridge. So this time, try and get your heels as close to your bottom as you can. And squeeze those glutes as we push around that ceiling. So just to remind you of the exercise. Heels coming towards bottom, hands flat on the floor. We're going to squeeze those glutes. We're going to push those hips right towards those ceiling. And we're going to roll through that spine all the way back down. So try and get those heels as close to that bottom as you can. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. So squeeze that bottom, push up towards the ceiling, hold for a second. We really feel those glutes squeeze. And come on back down in. And again, rolling up. Push. And if you can, bring your heels even closer. Gain that height and really squeezing that bottom, pushing those hips up. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, fantastic. Okay, take them to those windscreen wipers. So remember, the two options are knees bent in, and we can rotate, try and get the shoulders and floor side to side. By making it a little bit harder, having those legs straight, and bring them down, windscreen wipers or windshields, and then bring them back to the middle. So go be very careful on that lower back with these ones, so you don't want to pull too far. Go as far as it's comfortable, and then use those abs to bring them back into that middle. Yeah, palms nice and flat, and try and get the shoulder pressed on the floor. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going for the bent knees, rotating those knees towards the side, dropping that hip down as far as it's comfortably possible, using those abs to bring it back into the middle. Rotate to the other side. So again, a little bit of a lower back stretch, and pulling on back in. Okay, halfway. Try and get those legs at 90. Remember, legs nice and straight. You want to advance it a little bit more. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to the middle. Relax those legs out. Next move we're going to do is those dead bugs. So the hands coming up nice and high, and the knees stuck to that 90 degrees. Remember, what we're looking for is a bit of coordination work. Of the opposite leg and the hand moving at the same time towards that floor. And then back in, and then the other side. Okay, make sure you've got enough room. We go in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So, as we work, the lower we go to the ground, the more it's going to pull on those lower abs. Make yourself nice and long. Middle finger to big toe. If you can't get that low, go around about 45 degrees with the foot, but the hand can still come down nice and low. Okay, halfway. If you want to go a bit more advanced, see how low you can get that foot without touching the floor. Alright, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Okay, coming up, rolling on over. So we're going to go into that plank hold. So remember the two positions, that nice high plank shape, that press up, start the press up position. If you want to hold it, that high plank here. So shoulders over the wrists, feet slightly separated for a nice strong base, and tucking that bum under. Or we can drop to the knees, so the weight's still forward, you still engage that core, but it's a little bit easier. Okay, so decide level 1 or level 2 what you're going to do for that 45 seconds. We go in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to take a high plank position. So that high plank position, that strong base, those feet, that bottom tucked under, the shoulders over those wrists. So we've got a really strong foundation. We squeeze that bottom, bring that belly button up into that rib cage, activate it a little bit more, and engage that core a little bit harder all the way through. Now if you do get slightly tired, drop to your knees if you're in high plank. If you're in low plank and you get tired, slightly stretch back, and then straight into it. Alright, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop to those knees, and we're going to get ready for our next move. So the next move is going to be bird dog. So this is opposite hand, kind of like the dead bug, but flipped over onto our knees and our hands. So we're holding one arm out, and the opposite leg out straight behind us. So just to demonstrate. So start with your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists. We take the opposite arm and leg, and we hold it in that nice straight line. So try and make it so you extend that middle finger all the way to that big toe. But we are going to do both these sides independently to really get that body strength. So the idea is when we stretch the opposite arm and leg out, that body strength goes from the shoulder all the way across the hip, down. So we're really working these body strengths in these moves. That's what dead bugs and bird dogs are really good for. And stretching that back. So taking those shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Lifting up, keeping that arm in line with the shoulder and the leg in line with the bottom as best you can. Pointing that toe, pointing those fingers, stretch out. Try and make your body a little bit longer. I feel that stretch. Work that body strength all the way from that shoulder all the way down, across the body to that hip. Okay, you've got 10 more seconds. Try and hold it. If you need to relax, do so, but try and hold it as long as you can. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down to that start position. Now we're going to go straight to the other move. Just opposite hand to leg. Let's go. So stretching the waist, that middle finger out as far as you can. The leg in line with that bottom, stretching to that big toe. Open that body up. Again, relax if you need to. If you can hold it, hold it. Okay, you're over halfway. Keep holding. Keep that shoulder over that wrist, that hip over that knee. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that hand back in, that knee back in, and dropping those hips towards the floor, so those dorsal raises. So again, from here, we're going to pin those toes into the floor. Hands come to the side. We're looking to elevate that chest off the floor, feel that lower back work, and to come on back down. Now, if you do want to make this one slightly harder, move the hands slightly forward to create a little bit of a longer lever and pivot. From there, there'll be a little bit more pressure on the back, shoulder, a little bit more weight going forward. So to advance this move, keep the toes pinned on the floor, but move those arms forward and make that lever a little bit longer. I'll let you choose. We go in 3, 2, 1. Pin those toes to the floor so they don't move. Release that chest up. So I'll move my hands slightly more forward. Feel that lower back work. So I'm not rushing that movement. I'm taking it nice and controlled. So we don't want to hurt that lower back. We'll squeeze it up and in as we come down. Okay, you're over halfway. 10 seconds. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Taking it to the side plank. So, working that side plank. I'm going to start this way. So remember, taking that nice flat hand. So the forearm is nice and light. From your middle finger all the way up to your elbow in one straight line. We then want to bring our shoulder over our elbow joint. So we've got a nice long line there. From here, we decide whether we're going to push up on our knee, or we're going to push up on our legs to create a nice long angle. We're going to start in 5 seconds. So remember, push up on that knee if you want to, and push that hip towards the ceiling, or go up on both feet. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'll start on my hip to show you what to do. We extend all the way through, keeping that nice long line from our middle finger all the way down through our elbow joint. Now make sure if this hurts at any point, make sure you look at where you are and adjust accordingly. We don't want too much weight going through our shoulder. The but we will have a little bit of weight go for our elbow. Create that nice long line. To make it a little bit harder, take it up onto those legs, stepping that foot through, and keep pushing that hip up towards that ceiling. Create that long line if you can, and stay there. Alright, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping that hip down gently and switching over to the other side. So, looking at that other side, again, we're going to start that forearm. That forearm comes down, and we've got a line from our middle finger all the way up to our elbow joint. Then we move our shoulder over the top of it, so we know we've got a great base, a nice solid foundation. We're then going to either go up on our knee or up on our feet, and create that nice long line from the middle finger all the way down to our elbow. So we raise in 3, 2, 1, pushing up that hip towards that ceiling. So again, I start on the knee, making sure we still have that line all the way from our shoulder all the way down to our elbow, and the other arm comes up on the top. We have the middle finger down to our elbow. To make it a little bit harder, stepping that bottom leg nice and straight, pushing that hip towards that ceiling, and holding that line. Now go careful as we fatigue, we'll be dropping that shoulder forward or dropping it back. Try and create that line from that middle finger down to the elbow as best you can. You've got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Dropping that hip down slowly. And now we're on to our very last, second to the last move. So second to the last movement is going to work onto those flutter hips. So again, that back stroke, we're in that nice hollow shape with the legs kicking from those hips, or with our legs, shoulders on the floor, sorry, and our legs kicking still from the hips. So, just to remind you, flutter kicks. So we can come with the shoulders on the floor, the legs come straight out in front, we kick from those hips, we work those lower abs. Or to make it a little bit more advanced, we come into a hollow hold, or a dish hold, we flutter kick from there, again from the hips. Okay, we go in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So kicking from those hips in that hollow hold, all those shoulders on the floor. So as we work from the hips, we work those lower abs. You can feel it, all down on the 8th abdominals. The 8th abdominals come all the way down into the hip bones here, and kick it. Point those toes, create a little bit more extension out. Try not to let that lower back round too much. Okay, 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1. Relax. Last move. So again, I'm going to do this and see where the music's gone. Apologies, right. So working that last move, it's that plank hold with that rotation. So again, decide whether you want to go for that high plank position or you want to go for that elbow position. Remember, with the elbow position, we go from those elbows and we literally just reach behind. In the high plank position, we're also going to add in that rotation here, and then that spine rotation to stretch up afterwards. Okay? So decide whether you're going to go for your long arms or on your elbows. Please try not to put your knees on the floor unless you absolutely have to. And we're going to start this very final move in 3, 2, 1. Toes down, strong base position. So high arms, we rotate through. Spine rotation, reach up. And then we come down, change sides, reaching through. And reaching up towards that ceiling. And try and keep it nice and flat. If you are on your elbows, remember, just from here, reaching up. And coming on down. Reach. And come down. Alright, we're over halfway now. So continue whichever one you want to do. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. So just to cool down today, we're literally just going to relax, roll the shoulders up, lower that heart rate, and down. And another rotation backwards. Low intensity workout today, 2 rotations forward. And 1 more forward. Okay, now lay on your back, turn your mat to the side. So from here, what we're going to be doing, we're just going to do some breathing exercises, working with abdominal muscles. So taking them from here, what we need to do is bring that belly back into that rib cage. And breathe out. Hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in. And breathe in and relax. Now we're going to do that 3 times. What we should do is, as you exhale all of your air out of your lungs, we just bring your belly button in and up into that rib cage. So we go in 3, 2, 1. Suck that belly in, up into that rib cage and hold. 3, 2, 1. And bring it up. Well done. Breathing on one more time. So we're going to take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, breathe, bring in, bring in, bring. And hold. And relax. Okay, so whilst we're laying on our back, we're just going to really relax. Focus on our breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more times, in through the nose. Out through your mouth. Nice long deep breaths. Last one, deep breath in through your nose. Slowly out through your mouth. And relax your arms up. Gently raise up. And come back to start. So that was core stability and strengthening with me today. If you do have any comments or you do have any questions, please drop them at the bottom of this post and I will try and get back to you as best as possible. Have a fantastic day and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye for now.